5:30 p.m. at the town municipal building. It's good to see everyone. It's been several weeks. Welcome to our local newspaper, the Morgan Messenger. Please subscribe today if you can. Madam Reporter, for roll call, please.
Greg Sheen,
Here.
Susan Webster is here, Elizabeth Skinner is absent, Mary Lynn Hickey here, Rita Dawson here, Ryan Kessel
Here.
and Rick Weber.
Yeah. Thank you all. All right. Everyone have the opportunity to review minutes from the 16th. Madam Reporter, as always, does a great job with her prose. Do I have any changes, updates, revisions?
It's October 20th, October 14th for the grants meeting.
Oh, yes, we had to move it up a week because of the holiday.
You changed it after the end.
We did, that was not your mistake. No.
Sorry.
As of the time the minutes were written, that was correct information.
Right.
How do you feel about that, Madam
I
Reporter?
feel that I did the right thing.
I
Okay.
feel you did too.
Common consent on our minutes, thank you. We have no persons before council this evening. We do have some communications, of course. This is the 50th anniversary of the Apple Butter Festival this weekend. Brace yourselves, and please enjoy yourselves, and everyone be patient. We have a lot of visitors in town. We want to certainly show our best selves to the 20 or 30,000 people visiting what we all consider to be the gem of West Virginia. Trick or treat in town, again, two of the best hours, for my money, two of the best hours we have in town all year long. Trick or treat on the 31st, I think that's a Friday evening, 6 to 8. Again, be careful when you're driving around town, particularly on some of the side streets, Wilkes, Green, and a few others. There will be children, families, and everyone else.
Do you think we may want to talk to Public Works and maybe the chief about blocking off Wilkes this year, because it has become like carnival.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great idea.
Yeah,
What do you think, chief? It's people are in the street, they can't help it, they're having a ball, and just block that street off, maybe even at Independence to Fairfax or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think?
well, if you go from Independence, there's no way, then they would have to do an odd turnaround in
And
case they
if
made
they
a
got
turn.
some, true.
Yeah,
true.
so we
You
should
have
probably
to do
block
that.
it right off at 9.
Yeah.
It's
And
too
F for 2, and again, it is unsafe to have cars driving down the middle of Wilk Street. You've got literally 300 kids on the street at the same time.
Okay.
Committee Chair Weber, what do you think? Can you discuss that? Can you put that on the agenda for next week? Give us enough time.
Yeah.
That will still give us enough time.
Yeah, we
We
can do that.
have, we have plenty of time to let people know, like the residents there will be, the guys to let them
Oh,
know.
that's a great idea. Thank you,
And
Madam
right in the
Reporter.
middle, you don't create that thing.
Well, we had quite a turnout. If
It's
you
quite
want
fun.
great candy after you get your big candy bars from Councilwoman Hickey, please come down.
The littles, if you're under 5,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
the snack size, but everybody else gets full size.
Yeah, we're giving out pennies and pencils and toothbrushes at the end this year, so we expect a huge
So people are
crowd.
gonna egg your house, don't do that.
Thank you. CAA drug take back, October 25th, here at the town hall from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please think about that, be conscious of the fact that you have old prescription medication available until a loved one has passed away. Please turn it into the town hall so it can be disposed of. Warm Springs Watershed, next meeting Thursday morning, the 9th, for the tree pickup at the train depot lot. Kate, is there anything you want to add to that for folks?
The truck is arriving at 8. We do not want people coming to pick up their trees until at least 10 or so. It's a real nightmare. People take their trees before we get them organized. We should be done by 1 or so. So it won't impinge on anything that's happening in terms of parking or anything else.
So for clarification, is that a tree board activity or a Warm Springs
It's
Watershed?
Warm Springs Watershed and Sleepy Creek
I
Watershed.
see. Thank you.
And you're giving away trees?
No, we're selling them for a greatly reduced price.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can get an 8-foot high tree for $30 to $50, and it's a nice caliper.
Great work, thank you,
Thank you.
I think that's, every year, I think that's fabulous, and hopefully that's something that can be continued for the foreseeable future.
And you're in conjunction with the Sleepy Creek Watershed Association, right?
The two organizations are separate.
Did they work together on this project?
We work separately on this project. It's organized by Cape Institute.
Okay, all right.
What do they do, Kate?
CI, watershed education, it's basically watershed education. They plant a lot of trees throughout the 5-county area. Educate kids about the importance of nature and taking care of nature. Tree sales.
Very good. Thank you, Dave. That's great work as always. Also want to bring everyone's attention to the Fabulous Facade Program. This is a collaborative effort between the town of Bath, our Morgan County Commissioners, Bill Clark, Joel Tuttle, and Sean Thorne. We support this initiative as well as Dusty Martin and the Executive Committee of Travel Berkeley Springs and C&D Bank. So this is an opportunity for those folks that have a commercial property. If you have the opportunity to improve the facade, the outside facade of your building, applies to the outside, windows, doors, awnings, painting, all those type of things. If you spend up to $5,000, the town, along with Morgan County Commission and Travel Berkeley Springs, will reimburse 50% of that cost, which would be $2,500. There's an application that is in the package. You can find this on the website. It will be live tomorrow, so please go to the website and click on Fabulous Facades. We'll be looking at these in the order in which they are received and as needed as well. We have a committee to look that over.
Just for businesses?
Yeah, this applies to the business only, but this is a great opportunity. We're looking to do 5 or 6 a year, which in 2 or 3 years' time, we could have 12 or 18 facades done in the downtown area. There's a lot of interest for this already, so we're really looking forward to assisting the business owners that we serve, and this is just a great tool to help bring our town forward and meet our beautification goals and initiatives.
Mr. Mayor, question,
Yes,
are
sir.
On Track and HLC both part of that committee, or advising at least?
They are, yes, On Track is certainly playing a role in that. They just weren't a financial contributor to it, just identifying the financial contributors. But this is part of some of the milestones that we need to hit as an On Track organization in order to become a Main Street organization. So we'll have many of these scheduled over the next 6 and 12 months, so we can begin to hit those. That is a great question. Thank you.
Would there be constraints with the HLC if that becomes active again in terms of
That
businesses
that
do?
well, that is noted in there. Again, it is noted the majority of those type of improvements. Those are you make recommendations, but not required. I think would be the best
Okay.
language to
Okay.
use.
Okay.
To educate people what you should. And most people want to honor their buildings.
Mhm.
And honestly, if I took any building in this town that was constructed in this, the 18th century, the 19th century, the 20th century, the 21st century, there's all kinds of improvements done over 300 and 400 years in almost every single building in this town. So it's like, what iteration best qualifies as historic? Is it the 1840, the 1880, the 1960? So we're all a conglomeration of all those things on almost every project. But we'll honor that the best that we can.
Right. And as a point of information, if the max you can apply for under this program is 5,000,
Well, 2,500 is half of it. You could spend, theoretically,
spend 5,000 and get 2,500.
right, you could spend, if your project's 10,000, still the max that you'll get back is 2,500.
Fair. No one's doing historic renovation for 5,000.
Again, these are,
They're doing paint.
paint, awnings,
Yes.
paint, doors, windows, all those things. Signage qualifies as well. Signage attached to the building and that type of thing also qualifies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we're really excited to roll this out. You know, we expect, it's great. We're already seeing a lot of work being done up and down Washington Street as it, you know, as it is now. The coffee shop in Washington, they're working in Terry's building. We're seeing all kind of work going on. So we're really excited about the direction of the town. The new Crust Pizzeria could potentially be open by this weekend. We're excited about that. The brewery is moving right along. So there's a lot of really good things happening in town, and just good work being done by the town, by Purpose Rich Travel's doing a great job as well to promote the town and to promote the businesses. So we're really excited. Folks, I mean, there's the depth between having a sustainable economy and a thriving economy. It's pretty narrow. It doesn't take that much to get there and to push us forward. So we're really on the brink of being a very, very thriving community. Many of our businesses already reached thriving and reached that capacity, and some others just need a little more push to move forward. So again, these are the type of things that when people drive into our town, they are going to see clean gutters, painted curbs, freshly painted buildings, gardens, you know, planters, benches, all those things that will keep them from heading to Winchester, that will cause them to stop in our town, and that will help drive the local economy. So very excited about that. Anything from Bree? Did Bree have anything here? No, we did have on track. We'll be managing parking on the weekend. We pretty much contacted a lot of folks. We could always use a few more volunteers. If you've got 2 or 3 hours available, just please let us know. That would be great. Lisa, if you have 3 hours on the weekend, the newsworthy for you to park cars and race.
On the ground.
Right, on the ground.
An immersive experience is what we're talking about here.
I'll donate the tips.
Oh, you live right around the corner.
That's right, it's right across the street.
She's very interested in annexing into town too.
Right across from Creekside.
The Greenway, when you go up to the,
She liked
top of
the
the
Greenway.
towers. And I think you did some fast waterworks and, part of
I think we
the.
can attach, we're gonna talk about that, so we're really
What's
excited.
that actually?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, I own it free and clear, so that's good, actually.
Excellent work.
We accept your invitation.
That's very much, and bring a neighbor.
Yes. Tell all your neighbors.
Parks and Rec, do you have anyone from Parks and Rec, anything new going on with Parks and Rec these days? I know they do at the wellness, at the well, as Matt Pennington likes to call it. Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock, we're doing some pickup basketball for geezers, and I feel salty because Matt Pennington called me right away. So,
It's worse than when he doesn't call you.
So, it's great. Planning Commissioner.
Just 2 comments. One correction on the date is tomorrow, Wednesday, the 8th. And since our last meeting, I have no new committee submissions. So if you need a hand, please give me a call.
I promise you'll get it, just maybe a joke.
Trail. Pete, what do you have?
All right. I probably have a date on a lot of this stuff. So I've been out. But at some point, trying to get an agreement with the county and the town signed.
Yeah.
And last heard, I think you came to me some Mondays ago.
Yes.
And we asked the county to come up with whatever changes they wanted. And then I left town for a while, so I've not heard anything. I think I've asked, I know to you and Misty to try to figure that out.
Nothing yet.
All right, so I pulled the string on that because I think we were close.
I think we are close.
Yeah. And also the DOH was supposed to sort of set up a periodic phone call with Bill and maybe myself on what's going on with both remediation of parcel 1A and that the next phase of CDS Trailhead project.
Okay.
And I think the county has, at least I think it's in some way, the county has sorted out what will be the cost share and has funded that somehow. Though there has been a funding agreement that I know of, but that's a step. And I do not know the status of the retention of a engineering design contractor for the work. But that's all because I was doing something else the last few weeks. I'll sort of fill in the blanks on that
Just need to get that RFQ out.
for their engineering, yeah.
Yes.
And my part in putting together with the remediation thing, I've got a draft, but I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
There's only one of me. I haven't given up on it. All right, so that's about it for Rail Trail. For Streetscape, you got to lavishly illustrated
Yes.
update, man.
We got it.
Basically, last week, maybe it was last week, but it appeared that the U.S. Department of Transportation was pulling back money on the type of grants that we rely on for Streetscape and the park and such like that. And I pulled some strings on it, and Bill Clark helped with that. And got some answers back from the folks in Charleston that as of now, they haven't had any issues with getting awarded grants funded.
Great.
All right, so, you just gotta keep your ear, because what you thought you knew,
Yeah.
you might not know tomorrow. But so far, so good. But again, the next step for our design for Congress and Union is a thumbs up from the federal highway people to allow the money they've already awarded in the grant, and you've already funded your 20% of it, to be spent on the design.
Yeah.
Because without, after that, DOH would give Thrasher in the town a notice to proceed, and it can start. And there's nothing we can do about that other than to make sure that's still gonna happen so far. The word I got on the grants requests we put in July, the DOH possibly has finished their screening and grading of them, but don't plan to hear anything until spring for the governor's award. That's kind of like the way the recipe works.
Okay.
But I don't know whether ours have been accepted with great pleasure or just whatever. But I think they've been screened. Then we got a scare a week or so ago when Kevin McDonald, the engineer from D5, comes through with this humongous, I don't know if you've looked at the website, but it's not just us, it's every town in West Virginia. It seems to be that District 5 in their purview is going to let a contract to fix, update, whatever, ADA corners don't meet the current rules. The rules are called the PROWAG. It's a public access thing that's put out by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Many of the corners, Wilkes and Mercer, were done before that ever existed. And that's what they're going to go let a contractor fix. So the question is, if you look at the streets, they're different. Wilkes and Mercer look different from Washington and Congress and stuff. So you get worried about, what do you mean you're gonna fix it? So I got a note from Kevin yesterday that it's the detectable warning surfaces. They're the red things.
Yeah.
Right? And in the middle there, it was okay to make them out of bricks until it wasn't okay to make them out of bricks. And from phase 3 on, we did it right. The design was right. The construction was right. There's one issue about the corner up there by the Messenger on Fairfax. It was done right, but it's in the list of needs to be fixed. And I'll work that out. But I'm going to keep track of it and make sure I understand what is it they're going to do. Because Kevin thinks it's only the section where the warning surface is.
Right, because this new one won't ice up.
Yeah, I think it's that, and it's
Texture things, more detectable.
the little dimple on it
Yeah.
meet the requirements for being detectable.
Yes.
When it's just a random prick thing put in, it might have met it, but it doesn't anymore. So we'll see. I'm going to try to minimize what it is they do. But this is the state's going to pay it. This is not. Nobody's ever said anything about the town having to fix it.
Nice.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, just to follow up that, which is a good point. So what about all the corners throughout the town, regardless of whether they're part of streetscapes or not, or just an
Yeah.
existing corner that's 40 years old? Are they doing all the corners? What does it mean?
I think that on the website they've touched corners that Streetscape didn't do.
Okay.
But a majority of the corners along 522 from like Union North and I would say Fairfax South were previously done right before we did the phase 5 that did the main streets.
Okay.
There's a couple on back streets I haven't found, but they've I think found all of the corners that legitimately have to be certified as ADA compliant. And my belief is anything we've missed that's off the main 6-block core, they've got on their list. And I will ensure that that's true.
Just,
Oh, let us know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll go back. I mean, my first thing was to try to understand what the heck were they gonna do? Rip out all of our streetscape corners? The answer is no, they're not. It's just the red bricks. But you never know. I'll follow that. The one they said is wrong up by the Messenger, I believe they are wrong. I'll fix that. And I'll take a look at whatever else. There's a couple around there just to make sure we get the most we can get out of that program.
and like directly across the street, one of Fairfax and Greenwood, it's up a block. Up a block.
They've got some, they actually have that on their list to be done.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll
Block? The one that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's opposite you on the other side of Fairfax, but it has to do with the presence of a sidewalk.
Yep.
It's not just a corner, it has to be a
Has to be a
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
It has to be a sidewalk.
And they are only looking to do the corner.
Yeah, it's just,
That could make our close.
so I think, I'll make sure of that, I mean, I've been through every one of the corners, I wrote notes, and I think I sent you a copy of that went to Kevin.
Yep.
And so here are the problems we see, and here's what we're doing in phase 6. So, anytime I can help with free work for the town.
Did he give you any idea how much money the state is spending to do this in every town in West Virginia?
I think it's quite a bit, but they already, this is round 2. Back in before we did phase 4, they hit the main street because they wanted to pave 522. There was a reason. And they had to get it done, so they did it. And they went out of town, they're all the way down there by the crosswalk that gets you to the school section. They did that with us. So, and their contractor did a pretty good work. Mostly they had the right people on the job. So I will continue to follow it. There's no acrimony between me, and I will keep Rick.
Thank you.
Now, who's a solid member of Streetscape Committee now. But
He's very solid.
not, but the point is, there has to be a connection with the physical property of the town.
Yes.
And what I do and what we can do with other people's money. So I keep track of that.
No, that's great. Thank you.
And the other projects, we're planning, I think, still to have Potomac Edison come to Rick's 16.
Tim Boyer will be here.
Yeah.
He'll be here
That's
Thursday.
key. And that's just take a look at the truth is, what does the town want to do about the big streetlights?
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna put in 4, or
Did he
3
say?
or 4, but they're not in yet.
They're not
They
in
weren't
yet.
as of last week. He
Yeah.
said this week.
I
They've
know,
been saying that every week
this
since
isn't that,
July.
this isn't that hard, but the beyond the trial for a few, and the few of them, we picked a fairly high intensity for Union and Washington, because that's a big intersection with a lot of cars, etc. And we tried to pick a lower intensity in the neighborhood, which is basically just down here on the Wilson and Independence. And I think I tried to do one each in what I would call business commercial areas, one on Independence, kind of near Hunters, and one on Congress, right around where the bridge is. They're where the covert lights are now. The whole idea was, let's see, what does it look like?
Yeah.
And they
They're
picked,
using different intensities so that we can get an idea of what we really
yeah,
want.
and that's one thing you weren't getting with the high pressure sodiums. I think you go one intensity or out. And the light color, Kelvin or whatever, was picked to be toward white or the older yellow type thing.
Warm white,
Yeah,
warm white,
yeah,
not fluorescent light.
It's not up in the
Yeah.
It's in the 3,000 range, it's
Yeah.
not 4,000, 5,000 it's not up in the blue range.
Oh.
So whatever was learned by doing this.
Yeah.
They just limit, they don't offer anything more than that.
Okay.
So, and I sent, I did a little bit of work on what you sent in to figure out, okay, I understand this. And I sent something to Tim.
Right,
To ask
you
him
told me.
oh, okay, so there's been a connection there to say, okay, what have you learned with this?
So he knows that all this is coming up next
Yes.
Thursday.
Mhm.
He's aware.
Okay.
I mean, it's not fair just to him.
No.
But the reward in all of that is perhaps the town deciding it wants to have a longer term contract for all the lights, and they'll do so many a year. The town won't pay anything to get them
Mhm.
installed.
Right.
Yeah.
But it may take time, but the town then goes on to a contract that pays so much, which will be less.
Plus our electricity, we're gonna save a ton of money.
But you don't have a contract now, I don't think. Right? And you have, from what I've seen, sort of a helter-skelter, a set of bills based on who's wired to what.
Oh, my.
There's a way to maybe get that fixed.
Oh, that would be nice.
I went over and measured lights over at Hancock where they put them in, so I've got a feel for what do the bright lights look like and what do the dimmer lights look like, but let's see it in our town.
I didn't know you were out so late. Didn't you out
Believe
late?
me, no, it's out late, but you know, this strange guy wandering around town, putting a meter on the ground at 10 or 11 at night.
I can
It's
just
strange.
picture this.
I know. So, but I never got stopped.
All right.
I had an excuse. And then, Greg, we've been working on your Independence Street.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got some ideas, I got things, and I want to talk a little bit with Greg and probably maybe Jeff to see
Okay,
before we go any further.
Understood.
I've got some tough stuff to price out there.
okay,
Okay, I've got the geometry, the next step to price.
thank you.
However, each of them, whether you do angle park or whatever, to try to regain the number of spaces you have now, will require widening of the street. That's a bit more than a sidewalk. There's room,
We can do it though.
there's room.
Is there, even like where the bridge is? Next
No,
to,
no.
Creekside?
West,
This is,
This
this
side.
Oh,
is
okay.
Independence, it goes
Okay.
up to Wilkes.
to Wilkes, yes.
Okay.
So I think we need to talk a little bit, and then get back to you with
The
something.
street has a lot of potential.
Well, I know you, I know you're hoping out for that, and physically, I believe it can be done. I will tell
I
you,
trust you, Pete.
I don't know the cost numbers yet.
Are there trees there you're gonna cut down?
They're puny.
There,
We'll move them. We can move them on the side. We'll
Yeah.
need to move them.
yeah,
The
it's,
others are fine.
we would be usurping the green space.
Yes.
Okay.
Those trees will stay on the one side, right?
Which one side? The one on the north side? We're not touching the north side.
Right.
Anything happens only on the
One
south.
side.
Yes, yeah.
And those trees that are there can be dug up and moved to another location.
And you're gonna be looking.
Independent.
Yeah, I know.
I
Well,
know you will.
I mean, the challenge is
I know Kate's
the
looking.
90-degree parking.
Right, but we think,
If I
think from the perspective that that is going to be a lot of economic activity happening in that space. now.
Yes.
Well, if I could, if I
And
could
the church will give us that, the church may give us that green space between the church building and where CJ's Flowers is. There's a large empty piece there.
well, I'm worried about, and I have to collect the right of way
Yeah.
design. I've asked Thrasher for some limited help, but
Okay.
to price it, I'm gonna need more than limited help. There's things I have no experience with.
No, that's great.
And my impression is you may have to say, Mother, may I to DOH.
Okay. The state of West Virginia would be very anxious and or grateful to help us on a project like that.
It's a nice approach.
Yeah, so we'll go to the governor's office and work this way.
Oh, that way, okay. That's it. Any other questions?
Thank you, Pete.
No, Pete, that's fabulous. Thank you. That's great updates, Pete.
Now I have to just finish it.
Train depot?
I have
This
got to
year,
go.
I kind of, normally during this meeting, kind of going out of my mind with the depot lot, putting that all together, but On Track is taking care of that. So I'm real happy to say that. As far as what's going on in the depot, Dusty is, handling any of the changes that we've already given permission to him to do. I don't know that there's anything else going on. We, pretty good, in the account, we have some possible outstanding bills with the TBS to take care of that, and everything. And, I'm starting to think about, it's hard to believe, but the paint that's on the exterior of the depot is 10 years old. I'm not saying it looks bad now, because it doesn't, but there'll be a time when, keeping that nice and fresh looking is gonna be,
Absolutely.
gonna be on the dance card. So anyway, that's all I've got.
Very good, thank you. Councilwoman Dawson, can you bring us up to speed on where we are with the Landmark Commission?
Yes, the Historical Landmark Commission met yesterday unofficially to plan their course of action. Their next meeting will be on the 20th at 4 o'clock. That will segue into our grants committee meeting to talk about where, to guide them on some grants ideas that they have. And then they'll also be meeting on November 10th and 17th, December 1st and 15th. I believe that's every other Monday or something like that, 4 o'clock.
And how many folks did you have attending the?
The essentials were there, so 4 people were there. And then there was 2 optionals.
Yes, nice
Total of
turnout
6.
right here.
Good, perfect.
Yeah,
Well,
and lots of new committee members.
Yeah.
That's a great thing too.
Well, and I think too, the meeting twice a month while you're doing this reorganization is really smart, because once a month, it's just, people
Well, I
just.
believe they have to get 4 meetings in before
Yes.
the end of the year.
And that's another thing.
Yes.
But in
to
order to
stay
get
compliant.
further organized, once a month meetings are,
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah.
Little catch up right
Got
now.
some work ahead, but that's great news that we're back on point with the states.
Yeah, they're very excited.
No,
I spoke with Amy today, she's really excited about it.
There's a lot of opportunities to do good work. Madam Clerk.
The only thing I have for you is the state auditors training this year. They're doing 2 classes, but they are not in this area. They're down in Charleston. They're not offering virtual either. So at this point in time, I don't think I'm going to go. I don't know if anybody from council wanted to go.
One meeting's in Clarksburg or Bridgeport too. I think they're offering 2, one in
Okay.
Charleston and one in Clarksburg.
Right.
And Clarksburg, Bridgeport area, so I don't know if I will be able to go to those. I've got to look at the dates again.
It's a whole day.
It's a whole day, yes.
Oh, it's a whole day. It's to spend the night. I mean, even to go to
Yeah.
Bridgeport, you
That is clerk's training for the office. No, that's not that type. It's not the municipal clerk training. No, it's a different one. Yeah.
What day is that?
It's October the 14th and 15th, or November the 3rd and 4th. Charleston is the 14th and the 15th. Bridgeport is the 3rd and the 4th. They have different trainings for the clerks versus the board members.
Yeah, I'll stick with the Martinsburg one for sure, because I think that really did cover a lot of what we need to know to be fiscally compliant in our roles. I'm sure they're gonna cover that and obviously a lot more over an
Right.
8-hour training, but,
Thank you.
And I think the one in Martinsburg is well attended. I mean, it seems to me,
Yeah.
people, so anyway.
thank you.
Thank you. Madam Recorder, please share our latest building improvements around town.
Well, we have a lot going on. They're like trying to get things done before winter time, which doesn't even feel like fall really. But we have a building improvement application or notification for 99 North Washington Street. They're converting the garages in the back to small shops, small business rental, retail type. And I know that works, it's worked before, and it'll work again. I think it's a great idea. 102 Dawson Street, this is just the Bowers family moving boundary lines within their own properties limits. They have 2 properties, moving within those limits. So it really doesn't affect any other property, and probably not the town of Bath either. 210 North Washington Street, they're replacing a back section of their roof. 127 Martinsburg Road is putting up a new shed, and 33 North Washington Street is doing exterior improvements, and you've probably seen some of this work going on. What we do is we take these notifications, we note them ourselves, but actually they are passed on to the Morgan County Tax Assessor's Office for their review. So they will go around to all these properties. But we did have all these notifications. The property use request, we just had the depot parking. This is an on-track project for the Apple Butter Festival this weekend. And Deck the Meters, On Track is also doing that project. And that will be from November the 28th to December the 28th. And that's when people get to decorate their meters, and that will all be organized in Town Hall here with the On Track board. So that's all I've got as far as that goes.
Good work. Madam Clerk, move on to
Finance.
finance, please.
Make a motion that we pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $19,932.02.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $19,932.02. Second?
I'd second
Oh,
it.
oh, second. Any discussion? Motion carries.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
There you
It's been 3
You
weeks.
never leave that seat.
go. It's all about to do. I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $44,919.93.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $44,919.93. Any discussions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $1,800.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $1,800. Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Sharon,
carries.
that should be our last one from.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, I make a motion that we pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $27,988.15.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to pay the hotel motel distribution of $27,988.15. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
That's it.
Move on to tree board. Kate, what do you have for us?
The community tree grant, this is the $25,000 plus grant, has been approved. We signed the paperwork that is going to Charleston, and the clock will start ticking on October 10th. We had very much wanted to remove some trees on Washington Street and to grind that big old stump before Apple Butter, but there's no way that that can happen. Although I've been in touch with Bob Hanna about the demonstration city grant, I haven't heard back. We're not that close, but we're getting a little tight in terms of when we can plant trees, when we can have a fall planting. So I am looking forward to having that grant approved too. We did have to substitute some trees. One of the things with working with the feds, they actually looked and see where there are overhead wires. And they didn't like some of the trees that we had planned for in front of the library. They didn't like the trees we had planned for Wilk Street. So we made substitutions, and we will find ways to do what we want to do with our own money as opposed to grant money. So that's getting started.
What's the term of that grant? The
Term,
community,
how long?
yeah, community tree grant. How-
Community tree, I think September, somewhere in September. September 20th, maybe.
Okay, so in 1 year?
Yeah.
And is it a thing where they're gonna give you a check or you gotta submit receipts?
We can submit receipts every 4 months.
Okay.
Which is good.
Okay.
We had hoped to start work in town. Now the priority is shifting. We want to make sure that the south side of Greenway is all trimmed and in tip-top condition before the November 11th program, where they hope to have people who are walking through the cemetery looking for graves. We had the grants workshop last week, and I think it was well received. We're gonna be repeating that for people who wanted to take it but who couldn't. We're gonna do a follow-up and have a workshop on how to do the big boys and girls grants with federal dollars and lots of money and complicated bookkeeping. Jordan Warren from the Ice House has said she would lead that course.
Excellent.
And the tree board meeting is a week from tomorrow. And I think that is all I have.
Kate, first of all, congratulations on the $25,000.
Oh, thank you.
It's such a big win for the town. You're doing great work as you build out our tree canopy. Nothing is more important than the work that you're doing. And we pay attention to it. Everyone that comes to town pays attention to it. They see the progress that we're making. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you for all your effort. Councilman Dawson, grants, any updates?
2 grants have been finalized, the SHPO and the Appalachian Forest Grant. All reports are filed, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yes,
We're just waiting on our funds.
Waiting on the money. And the GIS mapping,
Yeah, we had made an application for GIS mapping for our water utility. It's worth $100,000. We are reasonably assured that we are going to get it, but we won't have it until next July. And that'll be a big boost for our water department in terms of identifying where all the pipes and lines are. So we're excited about that.
okay, thank you.
And then in the meantime, just now that we have a professional engineering report, a final one for our water utility, I'm now looking for grants. I need that to submit that report to anybody who might give us money. So I'm glad that we now have it, and we just need 6 million, so,
Just 6 million, no big deal. Yeah.
that's it.
Good work. Chief, what do you have for us?
Public safety's been busy. We have our computers are up and running, our new computers to the desktop. We're still waiting for a laptop for one cruiser. If anybody has noticed, the speed sign on Martinsburg Road is up and running.
Nice.
Good
I
work.
have the one for Washington Street up in my office. I started assembling it today. I wanted to try to get it up before Apple Butter Festival, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not.
They don't speed much
Nobody's
during
going
that.
fast.
No, but I really,
That's for sure.
that's about the third person that's told me that, but I just wanted to show it off. But, we did present a case in this term of grand jury, which we got a true bill on. We had a case at the CB Bank that we handled. We're busy.
What bank? City Bank?
City, CNB.
CNB.
They had a fraud case committee, identity theft and forgery case that I handled, and got through bill on that indictment. So,
Good work.
we're trying to work on maybe hiring and training our next chief. We're looking at someone, and so far so good. We're just trying to get the green light on that and see where we can go with it. It's a very clean, religious boy from Martinsburg. Well, he's actually from Paw Paw, but he was working in Martinsburg, and his wife had some issues with this government relocating government employees. And he left Martinsburg, and now he's put an application in here. So that's in the works.
Very good candidate.
we want to make sure.
Everything's, um, I have no complaints whatsoever. The council's, giving me more than I expected.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, the process for hiring,
You bet.
is
I have a question about Apple Butter Weekend. Can you talk a little bit about what police presence and public safety looks like for this weekend?
I have both the meter attendants working.
Okay,
They will be here. They'll be helping, crosswalks and parking issues and getting the street cleared for the parade is the big thing.
okay.
Well, we're gonna do our due diligence and address this, Wilk Street issue. I think it's something that was done before, but I think someone was pushing to have it more permanently shut down, which they couldn't move the barricades.
Yeah.
But, we need to be cautious of that because emergency equipment getting through, if we gotta get an ambulance in somewhere, we can take a look at that. But,
Chief, have you identified a location on Washington for the other speed sign?
yes,
Okay.
I've been in pretty close contact with Department of Highways. Brian's worked with me real well, and Ken. And, basically what I'm going to do is saves a lot of problems is the one that's dysfunctional on Washington Street. We are going to replace that
Okay.
same spot.
It's on the corner of George Street
Oh,
in
yeah.
North Washington.
Okay.
There's already one there that's just blank. It hasn't worked yet.
So I've been in contact with the manufacturer of that particular apparatus.
Yeah.
And I think I could get that functioning. And I think I can make somebody happy if I put it on Wilk Street.
Oh.
Just some rando.
But, we're gonna see if we can get it to work after we get it taken down.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. And again, folks, Chief has done a great job trying to look at the department and the needs of the department and what does policing look like in a small community. And it's different than obviously policing in a larger community and what's most important in the culture that we're building, as a town and the type of character and high integrity person that we want representing us. So that process for recruitment is always a longer process to make sure we get the right person and the person is a long-term fit. So we're not committing to anyone short-term, that they're going to be here for the long haul and they're going to represent and keep all of us and keep the community safe. So good work on that, Chief. I think you have a great candidate.
Yeah, and I was real happy to see going down Martinsburg Road and find out I'm going 33 miles an hour. Whoa, I better slow down. So these things do work. It does. I like it. So it's like
Hey, you need one on Independence Street going up that hill.
everywhere.
My
it is.
Coming down the hill on Fairfax. That's a drag
Well, they
race.
have one coming into town.
Huh?
Hancock.
From Hancock, yeah, that's the Dulles runway.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
landing at Dulles right there, yeah. So, yeah, that's the next one that's going up. That's that corner of George and North Washington. That's where that's going. Yeah, we hope soon. So, great.
Thank you, Chief. Well done. Next public safety meeting is the 15th at 2:30 p.m. in the town hall. Cemetery, do we have anything, we don't want cemetery?
Last mow, they did the last mow.
Last mow in the cemetery does look great. As Kate had mentioned, we do have the event coming up in November.
November 11th,
Thank you.
I think it's 2 to 4.
2 to 4 p.m.
And Dave O'Connell's putting a lot of work into that.
Bring your own chairs.
Yeah.
Chair, and it's going to be the unveiling of the historic interpretive signage there, which is great. And plus they have found over 100 other Civil War soldiers who are buried there, and so there'll be tours of this, and Dave had on the brochure, there's a lot of buried history in
Very
Greenway
well.
that I'm not thinking about, so it's.
And we may have secured a donor to pay for the signs, all the signs.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah? Really?
excellent.
So, excellent, great. So that's good. It adds another dimension. I hate to bring that up.
Folks do enjoy Civil War history, there's no doubt about it.
Dimension to the cemetery property.
Very
So,
history.
very history, yeah.
We actually, I mean, we have a town person that actually connects us directly to the Battle of Gettysburg. There was a carriage repairman in town by the name of Wesley Culp. And Wesley marched off with everyone that worked at the little carriage shop that joined the Confederate Army and marched off to Gettysburg, which is probably as far as he's ever traveled from this town. And he found himself on his uncle's farm, Culp's Hill, which is on the Gettysburg battlefield. He was killed in action on his uncle's farm. Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting
Yeah,
sidebar to our Civil War history.
There are still Culps here, and there's a Culp Road in north Morgan County, kind of a different. So
That ties it all together.
Mhm.
It'd be nice to honor the family too. I should pass that along today, but thank you all for sharing that. Rick, what do we have for Public Works?
Oh, a whole boatload of it. The day after the last meeting, we had a second company come in to demonstrate their street sweepers. It was pathetic. Okay?
That was bad.
The two people that came didn't know how to run the machine. So we spent the first hour that we were there, like, talking about other mundane things. And we were just, they couldn't even answer your questions about, except for the price, which was way more than the first one we had.
Oh, my.
So we won't be using that.
Good impression.
We've already mentioned that we were looking at the, replacing the curbing and the sidewalk from Fairfax up to the First United Methodist Church, because that sidewalk is just a disaster area. And with what Peter just said, now the ADA corner is not ours to worry about. We just have to kind of coordinate, so that'll work. So somewhere down the line, we will do that. I got a call from one of my old students, and this is real strange. He went to college last year, so he was now 20. His name's Carden Beal. He wanted to get an idea of what politics is like.
Is that Dylan's son?
Yeah. So I had him come over, spent like an hour and a half with him, listening to, said, write down questions, make sure you're prepared for this.
And you
So
answered them?
Yeah, answered them all. And I told him that I was gonna have him, he's gonna come to town council meetings. He wants to come to one of them just to check it out. And I invited him to come to one of the public works meetings. I said other things that he probably didn't need to, but he's not here tonight, so maybe this was just like a flash in the pants at the insistence of his mother, and we'll never see him, I don't know. October 2nd, Rodney, our Director of Public Works, decided to retire. So Sam has moved up to that position, and we're actively advertising now, and as soon as we leave it out there for a while, we'll start interviewing and fill that. So we're one man down at this point, but the guys are doing a commendable job. They're ready for the apple butter thing. They know where the barricades go and the one-way streets and all that. So that part's all ready to rock. I believe Friday at 10 o'clock, we're going to meet, Oscar and I are going to meet Susan at the depot. We're still just a dilemma about the street sweepers and the garbage truck dilemma. So this is going to become a Sam thing. And he'll be coming to Public Works meetings from now on, so we'll get him onto both the truck and the street sweeper business. After apple butter, and Sam knows this, they need to start getting all the trucks winterized and the snow plows ready to rock. Hopefully it's a little early, but
Order that
you
salt.
never can tell. Salt's already been ordered. It's done. And the only other thing is October 21st, they'll be doing the one block at a time. They'll be doing the other half of Congress Street, but it's the east side. And that's it.
That's a lot.
And just commendable work on the OVT. The blocks are clean, the curbs look great. I mean, we are just very spot on. And again, you judge a town from the gutter up, and if you drive into a town and you have 6-foot weeds in the gutter and trash and all those things, you're driving straight through. And we're slowly knocking those problems away. The town looks fantastic. Thank you. If you want to sponsor a cigarette receptacle on any corner, Travel Berkeley Springs, just let us know.
I think they ordered.
we're looking at those, we're looking to get.
Metal or plastic?
I want to get metal, and I want at least 8 around town to reduce the amount of cigarette butts and all the critical corners of the downtown area.
I ran
Should
into
have one.
Greg the other day and he was all cigarette butted out,
That was.
just shaking his head like.
They're just everywhere.
The people are so.
Yes.
When the Watershed Association does, Dr. Highway, it's the cigarette butts that are the biggest problem.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's just awful.
And now with it dry as it is, people flicking these
No, that's the
butts.
scary part.
Please don't.
Yeah.
We were gonna
Not in
keep.
this town.
Not in this town. We're gonna keep a cigarette receptacle be within arm's length of any cigarette smoker. So all they gotta do is just, drop it.
Are we
Most people,
enabling
if they
them?
see one of them,
Yeah,
they'll
yes, we are enabling them. Yes, thank you.
Public service.
Okay.
The only other change I have, Sharon, public works meetings start at 2:30.
Cops need to give them more tickets.
Okay, and that's permanent.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Rick. Great work.
Awesome.
Councilman Kessel, ordinance?
Sure. One thing I want to report and piggyback on Councilman Weber was saying is ordinance is partnering with Public Works to possibly updating the sidewalk ordinance or starting a separate initiative to help either add in sidewalks or replace or repair some of the more damaged ones around town. Where we are able to financially. And this is to help make the town more walkable, beautify it, and more safe. So any attempts we can make to do that, that's what we're looking to do.
Can I ask about what's happening with our election date change? If there's any update on that?
Sure. Well, the last I heard from Sharon, the clerk's office, was that the county clerks were supposed to reach out to the municipalities to help facilitate the required change in the date of our municipal elections. And that has not happened yet for us. And partially, I believe that some of the clerks are all retiring in the county. So I'll be following up on it to
Will the
see what-
municipality or the county pick when that election will be?
First Tuesday in November.
I thought it would be our choice, but will it be their choice?
I believe it's going to be our choice.
That's what I
But we
had thought.
need to work with them since they'll be running it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It has to be the date that's already the other state and county and federal elections that we're supposed to get synced up with that existing calendar.
Right, and it can be either the May date for
Be
the
May
primary
or
or the,
Oh, sure,
or the
yeah.
November date for the general, and it has to be an even year, and that's the main thing we have to change since we're in an odd year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's 75%.
You don't think this is gonna go away?
Municipalities in West Virginia are having to change.
As in the
Yes.
state retracting the
Yeah.
law,
That change?
I don't think so,
Taking all
because
the
I think
elections?
they believe, probably rightfully so, this will get more voters to the election.
Yeah.
And that's what they're probably most concerned about, and it makes it more efficient to just have one
And cost
Yeah,
effective.
no, I
entity
get it.
running it.
I don't know if I like it, but I get it. Because now we'll be very end of a big ballot.
I like
Unless they
more-
put us first.
Yeah. I wouldn't, I don't think it's a bad idea to proactively reach out to whoever's answering the phone in the county clerk's office and see, what did you have planned? Because next year's an even year.
We gotta do it, we gotta get on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't wanna wait till the end of the 7-year term. I'd rather just proactively.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Councilman Hickey, bring us up to date on everything going on in waterworks.
Oh, yeah. At our last meeting on September 24th, the engineering firm came and they did a final presentation. They'd already done, they had 2 tasks that they prepared something called a professional engineering report for. These reports detail for us what the issues are, what the costs will be to repair, replace, We even got costing on like actually completely getting a whole new building for a water plant. We didn't opt for that. We want to make use of our existing campus. The building's already paid for, and there is enough room there to retrofit. The expected, what we are now focusing on is repair and replacement at our existing facility. The numbers for that are between 5 and 6 million. New construction was over 10, so we're saving 4 million. And then we've got that project. And the important thing now about having the professional engineering report, I now have what essentially is my calling card for anyone I'm going to ask for grant money. And that includes Senator Capito's office, where we already have a formal request in for $1 million towards the 5 million. So that is the hill we're climbing now. Grants along with water to find the money. Doing nothing is not an option. So we just need to think creatively and positively about figuring out how we pull together all the resources needed to get this work done. And as a follow-up item, we will be scheduling some meetings with community stakeholders who are interested in what we're doing, so that they're aware and just managing their expectations around their participation. One of the other tasks was the silica line and what we should do about that, and whether we should move it or pay for it, or a whole bunch of questions. And we will be communicating our expectations in the near term.
Yes, we are.
As a function of what we are financially able to handle, which is not a lot. So lots going on with water, and there is now a very definite correlation between what we need to get done at water and Reba and I finding all that money, beating the bushes and finding all that money.
Get the money.
Get the money. Show us the money. So that's what's happening, and our water plant, our water staff has been really great about just staying on top of existing issues as they arise, and the crews get out there, take care of what needs to be done. So we're working very efficiently that way, and just really looking forward to ensuring what is absolutely critical from an economic standpoint for this community. We have to have reliable water. And it is, and it's fabulous, and it wins lots of awards, but the infrastructure that is creating and filtering all that water is in dire need. And we're just working to figure out how we do what we need to do.
Good work, Mary. And again, folks, we are keenly aware of the responsibility as it relates to the 1,450 customers that we serve. Can't expect those 1,450 folks to carry the burden for an entire water system. That's where the real work comes in. Again, that is an unreasonable expectation. These costs are high and getting higher. The debt service on that type of loans, when you're borrowing that kind of money, you're looking at monthly debt service of $40,000 or $50,000 a month in interest payments. It's significant money. And again, that's where Mary's work and Reva's work comes in, to try to offset that as much as possible with as many grants as possible. And then from there, we'll go and pursue the loans, and they are all interest rate dependent, and they're also dependent upon other considerations. So we are working on that. And it's a big challenge, so. And we will communicate that as we move forward.
You bet. And you raise a good point, Greg. We have a finite capacity for additional debt service in addition to the bonds that we already are carrying and paying. So that is another constraint on us as we're trying to creatively put together the financing package that will support this project.
Yeah. Just one quick notice as it relates to water. There was a leak on Pfizer Street in that general area. There was a boiled water alert, so please boil your water prior to drinking. It's simple as just bringing it to a boil for a minute or so and letting it cool before you use it. The leak has been fixed, but we just haven't had time to complete testing. This should only be, hopefully by tomorrow, everything will be back to normal in that area. So that just happened.
Is that for the whole town or just?
No, that's just in the Pfizer Street area, that immediate area. Now we're at that point of the meeting. If anyone would like to speak on any subject.
I got some quick things.
Yes,
I've got good news. So as some of you might know, last week I was with a large delegation from Morgan County at the Governor's Conference on Tourism. Don't have proof of this, but I will say of any county with less than 50,000 residents, we had the largest delegation. So that was really, really cool. This is a conference that's put on by the Governor and Secretary of Tourism, just kind of bring together tourism professionals. There was 400 of us from across the state, talk about the future of tourism in West Virginia. And so I just want to highlight a couple of things that I think are pertinent to us here in Morgan County. Unfortunately, West Virginia in 2024 was 41st in GDP growth in the nation out of 50 states, including 51, including the District of Columbia. But ranking 21st in GDP growth, we were top 10 in tourism growth and outpaced every single one of our border states.
Bravo.
Nice. Beyond that, West Virginia's GDP growth was about 3.5% in the previous year. 94% of that growth was tourism.
Wow.
So we're looking at a massive amount of tourism coming into the state, and I'm very excited to say that Morgan County is outpacing the rest of the state.
Be clear about what's
driving the economy of the state of West Virginia right now. It's not data center.
Tourism is driving the economy. West Virginia saw a 3.5% GDP growth and 3.3% tourism growth. So great to see that kind of growth within the state. We crossed the $9 billion in economic impact number for the first time in state history. And that results in every single year since the pandemic, we've seen an increase in tourism dollars spent within the communities. And we don't have the numbers for 2024 from Morgan County yet, but in 2023, it was 16% of county GDP was spending from visitors from outside of the county's zip codes. So really great to see. The only other thing I have from that is while I was in Morgantown, I had the opportunity to speak on a podcast. So when that does go live sometime, hopefully this week or next, you guys check it out. Talk a lot about the difference between Berkeley Springs and the town of Bath, and what the town of Bath 250 is, and really, really cool stuff. So it's a statewide podcast called Almost Heaven, Always Us. So check it out when it drops, and we'll be sharing that. So
and I think,
Nice job.
creating that clarifying the town of Bath and Berkeley Springs is critically
it's a story
important.
itself.
It's a story and it's valuable. It's not a conflict at all. It's the two working to get the best representation of this area and the folks that visit here. You've got the historic piece, you've got the wellness piece, you have all these pieces that fit together so well. Now we're becoming a foodie destination on top of it. So understanding that that how the town and the area works, it's a great story. And thank you for sharing that.
And to double up on the foodie destination, we took a lot of workshops. Everything from accessibility to AI integrations but one of them I took was the director of the Annapolis CVB came and spoke about how to create a foodie destination, as they've done with oysters, crabs, orange crushes. And it was a really, really interesting piece that I think 5 members of our delegation attended. So, we come out of it with a lot of ideas, especially on that, on AI and on accessibility. And with the AI stuff here in the next 2 months, you're going to see some of the things start becoming incorporated into our work with Travel Berkeley Springs and even with the Chamber of Commerce, with some conversations I'm having with them about how we can make every single business within the county and community work better for AI generation. So AI is skimming the internet. If I live in 400 people sitting in that room and all of them being tourism professionals, they said, how many of you plan your vacations with AI? Over 50% raised their hands. And these aren't young people. These are your 50-year-old hotel managers. So it's more like it's not something in the future. Right. Well, it's not something in the future. It's something that's now. And West Virginia is lagging behind the rest of the nation. The state's putting some big money into helping us get ahead, and we're going to take advantage of doing that to help our community be in the forefront. So when somebody's looking into an AI generation to say, I have a weekend, I live in Baltimore, and I'm looking for something to do, we read better than our competition. Because that's really the next step on how to put Morgan County in front of our audience in a better way.
So you see that surpassing traditional Google search and all those things.
Yes,
and very
absolutely.
quickly.
Most people now, I mean, if you go to Google and you Google something, Gemini, which is Google's AI, is summarizing that information for you and putting it at the top of the screen.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
we need to be ahead of SEO, search engine optimization, and we need to be in GEO, generative engine optimization. Yeah.
I'm glad you're on that task and well aware of it and already pushing forward on that. Very good, Dusty. Thank you for all that. Thank
I
you.
do have something I want to add to that because it's very related and I didn't mention earlier. You know that we did get a grant from the Mills Group out of Morgantown to do conceptual designs for the entire downtown from Berkeley Springs State Park up to the train depot. And these are mind-blowing, what we're looking at right now. We will eventually have them on our website, but the next step is to now, with these conceptual designs in hand, is to have Jennifer Brennan from Main Street, or On Track, pardon me, they need to put their hands on it. They need to give their input from the standpoint of, we're probably already doing it with what they're going to see in these drawings, but to collaborate with them, to be aligned with them, to get grants from them, along with the other grants that I'm now seeking for the downtown refresh, that will include, again, let's make the tourists happy and for us to be able to enjoy a higher order aesthetic in our downtown area. We will have flower planters on all of our antique posts. We will have uniquely designed historic town of Bath flags on all on the post. And we will have permanent seating options where we've got such wide sidewalks where we add like little occasional seating. I'm now working with a vendor to get costing on all of this stuff. So that I know how much I have to ask for when I go find people to give us money. So that is all very much aligned. The headlines around West Virginia made the national news.
Made the international news. We were by BBC Travel. We were one of the top 10 best places. To
I
visit.
saw that.
Morgan County is one of the top 10 best places to visit in the world. Yeah, in America as a British traveler. Yeah.
And we know this already. Now we just want everyone else to know it.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to have a refreshed downtown that really meets the moment in terms of all the folks, because we are in such a great location for anyone from Pittsburgh to Baltimore who wants to be in their car for no more than 2 or 3 hours to get here and enjoy a weekend, spend money. So yeah, we will share these on the website as soon as we have had the opportunity to loop in On Track and the designs are final. Then we will share it with everyone for public input. But I am so excited because I've seen them and this is all going to look super fabulous. I'm so excited.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Anyone else like to share? Any thoughts, anything, folks? Well, it's good seeing you all. Thanks for coming in on a rainy day, engaging with your town governance. Bring a friend next time.
Thank you for the handout.
You're very welcome. Lisa, thank you for being here in person.
My pleasure.
Meeting is adjourned.
I already did that one.
Good to see you. Good to see you.